Hello and welcome, my friends. Welcome to your Mercury in retrograde reading. Tomorrow? Well, tomorrow Mercury is going to go into retrograde and our communication is going to take a hit, both person to person and, of course, technology. Mercury being that planet of communication, when it goes into retrograde, well, it's harder. Not impossible, just harder. I like to do these readings every time that we do have a Mercury in retrograde or any personal planet in retrograde so that we're not just sticking our head in the sand and then all of a sudden we get zapped in the butt because the tower is like, no. Every time we have a retrograde, we're shifting the normal energies, and that's what we're responding to. Well, there's also opportunities that we're not usually able to connect in with because of the normal energies. There are a lot of opportunities during Mercury in retrograde. And I want to look at not only the challenges you're going to have, but seeing what we can expect. Now, this has kind of been dubbed my Mercury in retrograde deck. This is a great deck. My brain and black and white like this, it hurts. So I don't use it very often. So the only time it really comes out, this is the Wild Unknown Tarot, is during Mercury in retrograde. I like the conflict, that very spiky energy, because that's kind of how we feel during Mercury in retrograde. Then I have, this is the Chakra Wisdom Oracle, just to add some color, connect into those chakras and see how they can get a little bit of love during this challenging time. All right, let's see what Mercury in retrograde for July, August brings. This is the second time we've entered into Mercury in retrograde. We have one more in November, and then we're done for the year, which is nice. We've had years where it's 4. It averages between 3 and 4 times a year. And we don't have any control over it. It's like having a cloudy, rainy day. It's not like we ordered that. It's just something that we have to deal with. And that's what we're going to do. Overcome it. Okay. Let's look at this. The High Priestess. I love the kind of tie-dye crystal ball that the tiger has. Yeah, I love it. The Daughter or Page of Cups. This is the 6 of Wands. The Lovers. The Empress in reversal. And then, that's really hard to look at, the 4 of Wands. Even though this is a trying time, you guys have a lot of great cards. Right away, we see the 6 of Wands. That's a victory card. Yeah. Positive, right? We need that. The Daughter of Cups, like you can start to see these rainbows come in, this color. And this isn't a deck, like, yes, there's pops of color. There's a few of them, but there's a lot of just black and white and black and red, right? We have those pops of color. We have that rainbow, that positive piece. The High Priestess is a balance card. We're going to need that balance. The Lovers is a balance card. So the High Priestess is very much that energetical piece, whereas we have the masculine, the feminine within ourselves, which does lean into the energetical. The Lovers also talks about, yes, those close loved ones, but also communication. Pamela Coleman Smith drew an angel in the original card at the very top. It's Archangel Raphael. And he's not really known for this, but he is one of the archangels of communication. And communication just isn't talking, it's listening. And that's going to be a huge component. It's not going to just be our way. We need to be, and we're getting this from the Daughter of Cups, the Page of Cups, flexible. We need to be open to other people's ideas and thoughts, their feelings, because it matters. It impacts us. Just as our thoughts, feelings, ideas are important, it becomes a balance. So listening doesn't mean you have to take action. Listening is going to be key. The High Priestess does talk about the learning curve here. We do have the ability to increase our knowledge because we are going to be, it's going to be that experiential learning where it's through doing that we will learn rather than book. And we know that because we've got the Four of Wands. The Four of Wands, it is in reversal because there's things to learn, things to do, because this is a rite of passage card. The rite of passage comes in with the High Priestess, as she usually has a veil. There's that weird kind of wild floral type cloth behind her on the original card. The veil. We need to be able to start to listen, hear, and identify not only what we need, but what other people need and how it's going to impact us and them, especially those close people. It's going to matter a lot. It's going to help us move past and through some of this stuff. We do have the Empress in reversal, which does talk about the stability. She's the Mother Earth card. It talks about the fertility and the creativity. Many of us may feel a little bit of a creative freeze or funk. Breathe through it. And again, the water, the cups is going to help because it identifies that, you know what? Instead of just trying to take it on our own and do the same thing, expecting a different result, let's add in a tool here. Let's add in some intentional bathing to bring in that creative flow. Have it flow more freely and in your field of choice, wherever that creative element is, because that umbrella is huge. The creativity, the listening are going to be key pieces. Now, for my friends who do have children, your children are going to be very impacted by this. So be aware that kids are going to feel the prickle. Lots of inner children fight. So if you have multiple children, don't be surprised if you don't see an increase in that, because their communication is going to be disrupted and they're not going to feel heard. So again, important piece as a parent, if they're not being heard, they're going to start to behave in atypical ways. I don't want to say in bad ways. They're expressing themselves in the way that they can. So be mindful of that. Reinforce that you're hearing them. Isolation. I warned you, and it's very clearly saying, please do not isolate yourself. Do not turtle yourself, because that's not going to end well. It brings in stagnation, stuckness, and the Tower. Victim. Okay, this is not that you're going to be a victim. Please don't play victim. So if you have people reacting badly, don't turtle, again, back to that isolation, and play that victim card. It's not going to serve you in any way. And that's important. We want to make sure that we are able to flourish and thrive, not anchor ourselves to trauma and pain. Trickery. Lots of warning with the chakras. The heart is really going to take a bit of a beating because, yeah, people are trying to get the most out of the least. So doing the least amount of work for the most amount of reward. And they have a tendency, not everybody, to try and pull that over. Be present. Be aware. And if you have children, I won't lie, this is really going to be there, where they are going to play victim, where they are going to try and push you. Breathe. Use your third eye thinking center to have that win of creating the solution rather than adding to the problem, because we will. When we react and when we react to the whatever, the stimuli, we cause ourselves more problem. We add fuel to the fire, and that's not going to help you. It's going to cause more hurt, more pain, and it's going to start to really negatively impact the relationships you have, including with yourself. Now, the Empress does not indicate, yes, it does indicate a female. However, it's not saying you have to be female. It connects into the divine feminine, and it doesn't matter what gender we identify with. We hold every card within us, all 78 of them. So, right, this is that kind of feminine side of a person. Just the same way as the Emperor can come in on someone who identifies as female or embraces the female energy, we still have that masculine. So the emotions, I should say, because the Empress is in a reversal, the emotions will be flowing close to the sleeve. Be aware of that. If those emotions need out, find a good way, a safe way for you to express them. We have the 5 of Wands, the 9 of Wands, and then we have, well, the 8 of Wands. Wow, you've got a lot of wands here. These are the ahas. This is also a movement card. The 8 of Wands is usually the card that has the 8 wands coming down. It indicates movement. Don't expect a lot of physical or spiritual growth in the fact that you're going to move from something you don't like to something you do. That's going to come forward as we maneuver throughout the year. You're going to see more of that movement. This is more about that learning curve. So it's learning, not growing. Additionally, the 9 of Wands does talk about the exhaustion. Taking the time to embrace not only the listening, so you're hearing where everybody's at, hearing where you're at, adding in that creative energy. The Page of Cups is very creative. You're going to see that energy shift because that becomes that rite of passage. Beyond that veil that the High Priestess has, it's this utopia. It's calm, it's fertile, it feels good. We have that ability to take it. It's going to be up to us. Using our tools, using our skills to start to fill that empty space. The 5 of Wands, of course, it's not going to just be easy peasy lemon squeezy. You're going to have to do some work. Watch the negative self-chatter. Truly listen. Does it make sense? Don't hold that negativity. That's yourself tricking, trying to get away with something here, yourself into believing you're less than, when the truth is you're more than what you think you are. We're our worst enemies. It's time to take that step. Time to challenge that negativity and bring in that positive listening and honestly thinking things through. The High Priestess is a learning card. Time to learn about yourself, strengthen yourself, and take that rite of passage. I want to thank you guys for joining me in exploring Mercury in retrograde. I hope this empowers you to work on yourself, work on those listening skills, and create something wondrous. Now, if you did enjoy this session, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Let me know what you thought. Let me know what you're going to create. And if you haven't done so, please don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell. Also, if you're looking for an added layer of support, I do have a Patreon community. I've left a link below so you can go check it out. Again, I want to thank you for joining me in exploring Mercury in retrograde. Remember, you've got this. Just listen. Until tomorrow, my friends.